Come on. Participants. You're all set, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Newington Town Council special meeting of Tuesday, May 5th at 7 p.m. If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. The first item on this evening's agenda is the roll call. Susan, if you would, please.
For Councillor Annis.
Here.
Councillor Braverman. Councillor Draco.
Here.
Councillor Camillo.
Here.
Councillor Donahue.
Here.
Councillor Mankey. Councillor Minor.
Here.
Councillor Nagel.
Here.
Mayor Del Buono.
Here.
Just waiting on Mankey and Braverman.
Here. Mankey, he's here.
Thank you. Councillor Braverman.
Sharon, unmute.
She's saying something.
Sharon, unmute.
Fine. Okay, how's that? I'm here.
Okay, good. Thank you. All set, Mayor.
All right, everyone is present. The next item is approval of the agenda, which I don't believe we do because this is a special meeting. I believe that was a Scrivener's error. Special meetings, we don't have to approve the agenda because we are not allowed to make changes. So we will move on to the next item, which is public participation. Because this is a special meeting, public participation is only allowed on the agenda items for this evening. And for the public, I'm not sure if you can, it's not up on the screen, so I will tell you the agenda items are Connecticut State Library historic documents, waiver of RFP bid requirement for audiovisual package, and report by town manager, subcommittee chair. Those are the items that are able to be spoken about this evening. So I'm going to look into our participants window for those of the members of the public. If you'd like to speak on the agenda items mentioned, you can choose the raise your hand function in the participants bubble at the bottom of your screen. Or if you're participating by phone, you can dial *9 in order to raise your hand to be recognized. Just give it a moment for people to navigate if they'd like to join us. Okay, I don't have anyone raising their hand right now in our attendees section of the meeting, so we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is remarks by counselors on public participation. Since there was no public participation, we will move on to consideration of old business. The first item is the Connecticut State Library Historic Documents Preservation Grant for fiscal year 2021. This was discussed at our last meeting. This is a grant that the town clerk's office is preparing. Mr. Krapinski, are you there to give us a brief summary again?
Yes, I am, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. So this year we are proposing to update binder covers for some difficult to work with land records. Really, these funds are funds that we've actually taken in as a town already. We give it to the state library, and they are nice enough to give some of it back to us. So it does help with a lot of our projects that we like to get done to make sure that our permanent records of the town are preserved. So in this aspect, we are looking at utilizing $7,500 from the state library and $3,500 roughly of our own funds that I have as a dollar fund to complete the project. At that time, none of the books will leave our office. The binders will actually be mailed directly into us. We'll be able to replace them ourselves, dispose of the old covers, and we'll just move on as business as usual. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, would someone read the motion into the record, please? Councilor Mankey, do you have it in front of you?
I do. Resolved
excuse me. Resolved that Keith Chapman, town manager, or his designee, is authorized to execute and deliver in the name and on behalf of this municipality, a contract with the Connecticut State Library for the Historic Documents Preservation Grant for fiscal year 2021.
There a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Anist. Any further discussion on the matter? Counselor Bedrejko?
No, I just want to compliment James. I think historically, he's made good use of these grants. And I'm glad to see that he's on top of it, and every year that we're getting something done through his efforts. So thank you, James.
Thank you, Counselor.
All right, any other council comment? Seeing none, we'll vote by roll call, please, Susan.
Counselor Annis,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes,
Counselor Budraco,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Menke,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. We'll move on to the next item for consideration is the waiver of RFP bid requirement for audiovisual package. This was presented to us regarding the necessary equipment needed for the town hall construction project. The intent was to be able to move it forward as quickly as possible. We discussed it last time. We were waiting official figures that would give us more information, and I'm not sure if Mr. Chapman's on or Mr. Kropinski, if you could speak to this. I believe we do not have those figures yet, or Mr. Boutat?
No, we do not have the figures tonight. We were hoping to have them tonight, but we just didn't get them from the vendor. So we'll have to just delay this until the 12th.
Okay, so I would look for a motion to table this to our May 12th agenda.
Make a
Move
motion
we table this.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Counselor Menke and seconded by Counselor Camillo. Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. So we will move that. Mr. Kropinski, if you can make a note to put that on our Tuesday, May 12th agenda, we'll consider it then.
We'll take care of that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next item, we will move into consideration of new business. We have just one item on there, which is report by Town Manager Evaluation Subcommittee Chairman, Mr. Nagel, if you would.
Thank you, Mayor Buono. The Town Manager Evaluation Committee obviously met. It consists of Counselor Annis, Counselor Donahue, myself, and of course, Mayor Buono as a non-voting member attended as well. At that meeting, we determined that we were going to use the form that has been used for several years for all the counselors to privately give their input. And that has been sent out. It is very similar to the one last year. And if any person on the council hasn't received one, please get to me individually or to other members who are on the committee so that we can make certain that you have one. Because of technical differences due to the way we're talking with each other, we had to figure out a way of getting the materials to each counselor and how for them to get back to us. They have that information and hopefully they will. So far, I've received 3 evaluations back in one form or another, and I hope the rest of you will do so before the due date. The town manager will also has been asked to use the same form to give himself a self-evaluation. That will not be included in our deliberations. The form asks for ratings, and those ratings are added up on a review sheet, as well as a list of comments if anyone wishes to make them. And they will be supplied to the counselors once everything has been gathered and tabulated. It is up to the evaluation committee merely to create the form, to collate the form, to get the materials back, and to present all the results, keeping everybody's answers as private as possible. All communications have not been done on town websites and so on, once again, to maintain that objectivity on everybody's part. The town manager also provided to us a third quarter report, which was objective, and that was given to the mayor prior to our even meeting, and she shared that with everyone, and it has been indeed given to everyone. I believe so. But it is these reports and our evaluations of what we think go into an evaluation process. We've done this earlier than usual because of the unique circumstances, obviously COVID making us do it virtually, and also we have an acting town manager, and we need to make a decision concerning the quality of its work and what may happen in the future. And that is for another committee, or this committee, if it's deemed so, to do at a later time to help the full council. That's a full council decision, not a decision that we in this committee make. Forms will be tabulated. Comment sheets will be put out to all the councilor sessions. In an executive session, they will review them before going back to the town manager. The time period that it covers is from January 20th to April 20th. And I believe that covers everything that we need to report on, unless another council member on the committee wishes to comment.
Thank you, Mr. Nagel.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Thank you, Counselor Nagel. Any other council comment or question? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. The next item on our agenda is minutes of previous meetings. We have 5 meeting minutes to consider this evening due to some technical difficulties that on our end for receiving them in the past. So those meetings that we're going to be considering are March 3rd, 2020 public hearing minutes, March 10th regular meeting, March 17th public hearing, March 24th regular meeting, and April 14th special meeting. Mr. Counselor Menke?
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second,
Can you identify yourself? Who seconded?
Mike Camillo.
Seconded by Counselor Camillo. Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes? Counselor Nagel? Oh, you're muted, Counselor Nagel.
All right, I've got it. There's one correction that I found in briefly looking them over that needs to be made. It's on the March 24th minutes. On page 3, it's the health update. It's the 5th bullet point from the bottom, and it starts with my name, and part of the sentence has been left out, or it was never completed. It says Counselor Nagel stated that if nothing else, if a sign is posted letting people, that's where it ends. What should follow is know the rules, and it has to do with the parks, what they should do and what the rules are in terms of shutting things down. So what should be added to that bullet point is know the rules.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Nagel. Any other discussion on the minutes? All right, so we would like to approve the minutes with the change that Counselor Nagel made. Mr. Menke, would you amend your motion to say that?
I would amend my motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
Thank you. And a second by Counselor Camillo.
Yes.
Okay, and all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. We will move on to the next item on our agenda, which is public participation on agenda only. I will look at our participation bubble here. We have 9 attendees currently, and we have 1 hand raised. The number ending in 070, you're with the town council. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, it's Rose Lyons again, 46 Elton Drive. I'm new to this Zoom meeting thing, but I'm just curious, when the meeting started, you had the Pledge of Allegiance and you have the roll call and the approval of the agenda, and then you go to public participation. And I found it kind of hard to try and write down the participant ID and the password and all that. Is there any or is there anywhere on your website that information is available to me? Quite honestly, I didn't look to see if there was. I had some questions in the beginning regarding the town manager's evaluation committee. I was just curious whether or not what the charge of the committee was, and I thought maybe during the discussion I would get my answers, but Mr. Nagel was breaking up at my end during his explanation. At some point in time, I don't know if there's another meeting that I could ask this at, or if you would indulge me and answer me now, is whether or not this committee is being formed or has been formed to evaluate his performance from January to April and decide whether to make a recommendation to hire him on a permanent basis, or if there is not going to be any search. And I'm just not quite clear as to what direction we're going. Nothing against the town manager. I've had very positive interaction with him, and I'm pleased with what I have seen. But I'm hearing 2 different stories as to whether or not we are going forward in the search or we're not going forward in the search. Can you enlighten me on that?
Okay, well, we can address the public during remarks by counselors.
Okay. That's what I was hoping. I just didn't know, because usually at the end you do not address the questions. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm going to look at our public participation again to see if anyone else has their hand raised. Okay, I don't see anyone else raising their hand right now, so we will move on to remarks by counselors. I see the first hand that I saw go up was Counselor Nagel.
Thank you, Mayor Davino. To answer Ms. Lyons' question, since she evidently didn't hear all that I had to say, the evaluations that is done by the council at this point is done yearly. Yeah, there was a form that has been used for many years, and it has been changed slightly, and we're using it again. It's from January 20th to April 20th. It is merely a form and a process to evaluate the performance of the acting town manager at this time. And as I said before, we are only put together to collect all the information, to collate it, and then to present it to the council to determine our view in terms of his performance over that period of time. The evaluation process is something to be done separately, and is to be done by the full council ultimately. Whether they choose to have the evaluation committee take on any further process or not is up to the council at large. I think that answers everything.
Thank you, Councilor Nagel. I would just add that that is a standing committee. It was not formed solely for this purpose, but that is a standing committee that we have that evaluates town manager annually. And so that's not a new committee. It's been there longstanding. Councilor Camillo, your hand is up.
You got a couple things. With COVID, a lot of us in business are suffering. My deposits are off about 75 to 90%, and paying rent and all that. You have a lot of other businesses in town that are just closed, and the landlord's not going to be able to collect rent, let alone pay taxes to the town. And I hope that's been considered going forward, what we may see come this fall or in July. The other thing is, I sent an email to the town manager and to the superintendent of Board of Ed, and I asked for reports from both the general government and the Board of Education on all expenditures over the bid limit of 30,000 not covered by grants for the past 12 months from April of 2019 and March of 2020. So we'll hear more about that, I hope, over the next week. Maybe they can bring that to the table for the 12th also, because it's hopefully just a hit a key on their computer and they can give us a list of what they are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Camillo. Any other council comment? Okay, so I just have a couple of things. I had written myself a note to remember to mention that while the governor is talking about reopening and the process that might look like, starting out slowly, we have several businesses in town that are, of course, wanting to reopen and be able to hire back employees and really become more functional again. And the first, what we're hearing the most from right now are restaurants who are looking to do outdoor dining as may be allowed by the governor moving forward. So just so all the businesses out there know, we are invested, our town is invested in helping our small businesses and all of our businesses to be getting back in the groove of things. So we are working with our town planner and our town planning and zoning to try and make that easier than the normal process for businesses if they want to do outdoor dining or have some other proposition that they want to try and explore to maintain the safety standards that the governor puts forward while trying to grow their business or reopen. So the number for our town planner, his name is Craig Miner. His number is 860-665-8578. I just want to throw that out there that he would be the contact person if you have questions or need some help in reopening or figuring out the process. Additionally, I just hope that everyone out there is doing well, staying safe, trying to enjoy your family time as best you can right now. If you're with your family, I know that some of us are isolated from family members and are really missing people, but please know that we are thinking of you all and we are wishing for your safety. The town is running and doing what we can in this time to ensure that the services that you need are available to you. If you have questions, please call either myself or the town manager's office or the appropriate department. All those numbers are on our website. All of us are here for you. And I guess I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Yes.
one question. Did you want to address Ms. Lyons' comment about being able to see the information? I can show it on the website for the public.
Oh, thank you. I forgot that piece of her question. Thank you, Mr. Kropinski.
Certainly. Just a moment. Let me just pause the share and I'll pull up the website.
Perfect. Thank you. So yes, Ms. Lyons, it is available on our website. Mr. Kropinski will pull it up and it's a link that's provided. I think it's a virtual meeting page, but let's see what he shows us.
Tell me, is that on the screen? Because I can never tell.
No, it still says remarks by counselors.
Okay, give me just a second.
Mhm.
Never tell what's really there.
There's the town website we're seeing.
Perfect. So the town government link to the boards and commissions page. As it comes up on the right-hand side, we have a virtual meeting schedule. Under that schedule, as meetings are listed, we will add them to this page with their Zoom link, as well as their web ID and the password to attend those meetings. At the top of the page is actually our YouTube streaming channel as well for people who may not want to attend, but may want to watch the meetings as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Kropinski, for providing that. Okay. Any other council comment or discussion? All right, motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Adjourn.
So moved by Counselor Braverman, seconded by Counselor Menke. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone, for your patience with all of these
Thank you.
technical things.
Stay safe.
Have a great evening. Stay safe, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.